I travel very frequently on behalf of the IMF to many countries. For full disclosure, I was the auditor for Paris 2 and Paris 3. So I'm quite familiar with the framework and the conditionality that was put on with regards to Paris 2 and Paris 3. Without going into the details, the panel has asked us to trust them, and I'm finding it very hard today to provide you with the blind trust that we gave you in Paris 1, 2, and 3. And I find that the very fact that we're calling this CEDRE is simply a marketing initiative to say that we failed the first 3 times and hence we're going into something new. This is the first time in French history where the French government actually creates a donation platform, an international donation platform, that is happening several weeks before an election. It has never happened before. So the question that we have is there a political imperative behind this? And is this an indirect sustenance to the existing government today? We have provided with the IMF every single year since 1999 a full report to the government stating exactly what the administrative reforms we recommend that should be implemented and that should happen in the country should you want, as Lebanese, to decrease your debt ratio relative to other countries. You have a cancer. There is no other way of describing the current situation of Lebanon. That cancer is a lack of governance, which has resulted in unequaled and unparalleled corruption. I have worked in Tanzania, Botswana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire. I've worked in approximately 25 African countries. The only country that comes close to what is happening in Lebanon, and I apologize for being frank, the only country that comes close was actually Botswana, and to a lesser degree, Zimbabwe. There is no reason, given the intellectual capacity and the education level that we have in Lebanon today, that the fundamental questions regarding utilities, such as electricity, pollution, education, cannot happen. If we look at the airport, the maritime port, the tax evasion, all of these issues are conducive to bringing in, by simple reformation, or in many cases, simple application of existing laws, can bring into the Lebanese economy approximately $6 to $8 billion a year. That's a fantastic number. Instead of begging the French to give us this money, why isn't the administrative reform done internally? I understand that Lebanon, a country that has the economy of a city the size of Miami, has 30 ministers. By the way, the Russian government, which has 13 time zones, only has 9 ministers. So I understand that the consensual aspect makes it very difficult to come to coherent decisions. Today, my recommendation, and I think that is the recommendation of the World Bank in the current report, which you just mentioned and which I have read. I don't think Lebanon should be asking others for help. I genuinely think Lebanon should be asking itself, what can we do for ourselves? The current debt ratio, and I'm sure everyone here, or a lot of people here, have children. Without a haircut, our great-grandchildren will still be paying the debt. And that is if we assume that the economy will grow at 8 to 10% per annum for the rest of the history of Lebanon, which is an impossibility. So the concept of corruption, I think, is the fundamental issue that we seem to be teetering above. And the international community has treated Lebanon very much like an alcoholic who has promised that tomorrow they're going to change. And there is no indication, medically speaking, that within the very near future, there can be, given the current political structure, any form of change. And it's very unfortunate that I should come to this conclusion. I genuinely think that the model provided to Greece, although we will never have that type of a model because frankly, who cares? The model that is provided to ex-Yugoslavia and the model that was provided to Nigeria is perhaps the closest international verification model with regards to auditing and spending, which could provide Lebanon with an escape rate.